Oh yeah, people. Back at you with another one, a fiery one, a spicy one. Shout out once again to my boy Rich. This is the Hiya Exquisite Basic Godzilla King of the Monsters Flameborn Rodan. Very, very nice box. Love it. I love the whole scene from King of the Monsters basically. And all the fire, the reds, the oranges, the browns, the blacks. It looks awesome. Paint on the box looks awesome. Godzilla King of the Monsters on top. Just more of the scene of the city on the side. Here we have Rodan on the back here. And looks really, really nice. Flying over the city over Mexico. And then you just got another shot of the city there. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and a shot of the city on the bottom. Very, very nice box. All right, let's dig into it. So, okay, just taking it out of the box. We got the clamshell with all of the accessories here. And the accessories, obviously, are a nice stand for Rodan. And then we have Rodan right here. Yeah, it's cooler. It's cooler we get a stand. I guess you could get him into some nice poses with that. We'll set that up. But let's get him out of the box, get the stand apart, and see what we got going on here. Okay, so this is Rodan with the stand. You can see the stand here. It goes in all different angles, so it'll give you different poses and different heights. And you could bend it in several different directions. So, and Rodan looks very good. You can see here the detail on his wings is quite nice. Here on the back and on the tail, same thing. The face is very well done here. Pretty screen accurate to the Rodan that was in the movie. Right now his mouth is closed. I'll show you how it looks when it's open. But so far I'm liking what I see. This is my very first Rodan figure, believe it or not. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I was extra excited about getting this because it's my very first Rodan. And first impressions are I like it pretty much. So, but let's see. Let's just get wild and crazy with this and pose him in all different sorts of poses. See what he could do. Okay, that looks excellent right there. So yeah, the stand is nice. The posability of Rodan is excellent, and I'm really excited about this particular Rodan, the Hiya Flameborn Rodan, as being my first Rodan figure because I really like the way it's done. I like how the inside of the mouth looks, giving you a look at the open mouth here. The tongue looks great. You can see the teeth here on the sides look very, very well done. Yeah, I like the look of this. And, before I get, deeper into the review and start posing them some more, I just want to point out, Rodan is one of the few kaiju in the Godzilla universe that has a standalone film. It's just Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan, and the 1956 Rodan movie will stand the test of time. It's one of the movies, where one of the kaiju movies where you could say it's like closest to a horror movie, and shout out to D-Man54 who did a great video titled "How Rodan's Awakening is Peak Kaiju Cinema in Godzilla, King of the Monsters." And he might be right about that. That scene was extremely memorable and very well done and pretty terrifying. Rodan basically awakening out of the volcano, and the terror that the people trying to evacuate were experiencing, how Monarch handled the situation by trying to basically, engage with Rodan and lead him to King Ghidorah, and so that was a fantastic scene. They gave, a nod to the original Rodan in that scene, where showing how he was basically flying so fast it was just ripping the tops of buildings off, and they had that in the original film, and when Rodan flies by. So that was nice to see that in Godzilla King of the Monsters. And it was just a cool scene seeing Rodan chasing after the planes. Fantastic, And so I'm very, very excited about this figure. As you can see here, the paint job is decent. For a good explanation about the paint job, you could see Shinrob Jira's review of this figure, where he compares it to the original Hiya Rodan. Where that one's more on a brighter orange or red side, and this is more of a dull orange and black. But it works for it when you put the black light on this. You know what I mean? That's why it's the Flameborn Rodan. And maybe that's why the figure was painted this color, because you could see the colors come out when you put the black light on it. And we'll do that later. I'll show you what I mean by that. I believe Shinrob Jira maybe called it bland or something like that, and he might be right about that. They could have painted it, maybe a little bit brighter or redder or whatnot. I don't care. It's my first Rodan, and I'm really, really loving it. And you can see here, the paint job's quite good. It's not terrible, and I think Rodan looks great. I love the way his head looks. And you got some nice articulation on this figure. On every part of this figure, on his tail, on his legs, on his torso. Of course, on his wings and on his head. They all move pretty good. And that's really, really nice. Just to give you a side view of this pose here. But, yeah. So, that's something I'm curious if you guys comment on it. Do you feel like Rodan's Awakening was peak cinema for the Monsterverse? I think that scene is definitely up there as one of the top scenes in all of the movies. Maybe top 5. I don't know. I don't know if it's peak or not. It's certainly good and certainly worthy of a top 5 out of all 5 of the movies so far, in my opinion. But let's pose this sucker some more. Okay, so now, before I put him back on the stand, I want to give you a shot of how he looks when you just have him on the ground, with his feet down, planted on the ground. You might need to have his wings down as well to just balance him correctly. But you can see you got some nice movement on the head. You could look up and to the side. It's really nice articulation on the head and neck area. You could do so much with them. But I just wanted to give you a shot of what he looks like standing on his own. And look at that. I love the articulation in the head on this Rodan. Awesome. So let's pose him back on the stand. I like this right here, how you could have him in a nice, swooping in, about to land pose, looking down with his legs, about to be placed down. Kind of just ready to pull up and land pose. Yeah, this is nice. This is like really good, like really good articulation. The stand is a little bit wonky. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit like too heavy for Rodan. I mean, it's holding up okay, but you have to like really work it to get it into the poses you want. So, from my understanding, it's this stand is a little bit better than the original stand that they gave you. You know, as you can see, it's holding it up okay, but it is like if you just tap it, that's what's gonna happen. You know. So, all right, let's keep posing. Now you can basically have him like he's just you know, changing positions mid-air. I wanted to pose him like this for you so I could show you the articulation of the body. You could kick the legs out. You could turn the torso. You could turn the tail. And the head moves quite nice where it looks like he's like just stopping and about to head off in the opposite direction, you know. I'm quite impressed with the posability of this and the poses that you could get it into. It's just very, very nice. Of course, there's something to be said for the detail on them, you know, especially on the back here, you could see. Like I said, the stand is a little bit wonky. Also, his bottom jaw, his jaw is a little wonky too. That kind of like comes out easily, so be careful not to lose it. It is a small piece. But yeah, I love how you could just kick the legs out, turn the torso, turn his head, and it's all buttery smooth as far as the posing is concerned. Let's keep going. Of course, you could have him looking to fly straight up in the air, which he did in Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Even closed his wings more prominently than that, but you know, I'm sure you could bend them in a little bit more, but I'll tell you right now, the stand is a pain in the ass, you know, and you kind of do need the stand to get them in these dynamic poses. I just wish they would have made it a little less flimsy. It's still okay. It holds a minute, you know, but you could have them fly straight up. See, that's what I'm talking about, you know, so. It wouldn't be a good review if I didn't show you things like that, because that's things you might want to think about before purchasing. You know, this is what we're working with, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, and we pay good money for these figures. So, and look at that. It just came out. So, be prepared to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get him into the next pose. Now, another way you could have him pose, a nice way you could have him pose is how he was posed when he was knocking out all the planes, where he just spun around like that and took out a bunch of planes. And, you know, I'm not going to complain too much about the stand because it does hold them in some good positions like this. So, you know, it's not all a loss. You just have to carefully do it. Get them into position. But I mean, look at that, man. That's beautiful, dude. You know, look at how flexible the wings are, and just how posable this is. This is really, really nice. You could get this guy into some insane poses. You know, and like I said, you know, not enough is said about the detail here. That's very nice. I really like the way his back of the head and tail look. But yeah, that's a cool. So, you know, that you could recreate that scene from Godzilla, King of the Monsters, when Rodan is just spinning around like that and taking out planes. A very, very cool pose. All right, now you can also get him in this pose, which I borrowed. I borrowed the helicopter from Playmates, and recreate that scene when he's just picking off the choppers and planes and whatnot. And, you know, it was really cool. He was in in the volcano in Isla de Mar, Mexico. And I think Mexico, that was just like fitting scenery for Rodan's awakening, you know. And you know, it just fit the whole volcano fire hot aspect of it, and it was filmed very, very well. But yeah, you know, there's the shot when he's picking off the, I don't know if it's a plane or a chopper or both, with his feet, you know, with his claws. So you could actually, like, you know, put his claw in there and balance it on the stand, and it looks like he's picking a chopper out of the sky, which is very cool. That was such a cool scene in the movie. All right, let's continue. Okay, so now, interestingly enough, I discovered a little cheat code here. You want some more support on the stand, you bend it like that so it's actually resting against the bottom of the stand. And that'll give you a little extra balance and support with it. Could have it like he's flying low. But that's actually very, very nice. See that? You just rest it on the back of it like that. Very, very cool. We can also recreate this scene where he's bowing down to Godzilla at the end of the movie. Let's take a look at that from the side. Yeah, so this is Rodan bowing down to Godzilla like he did at the end of King of the Monsters. Godzilla's looking at him like, you were just fighting against me, chump. You know what I mean? And he still lets him slide, you know? So, but I guess that's, you know, because he bowed down to him. But, you know, Godzilla had every right to take him out, whether he bowed down or not. But that was a cool scene anyhow. Of course, you could have them in a pose like they're ready to scrap. Looks really nice. And let's show you how he looks here with Burning Godzilla. Very, very nice. Yeah, these are, you know, I'm just going to compare them with Godzilla for now, you know what I mean? Those, I have the two, both of the 2019 Godzillas, the plain one and the Burning Godzilla. But I don't have any Mothra or King Ghidorah, so when I get those, I'll compare them all together. And the Burning Godzilla looks really nice with it, you know? The colors are a nice match. They look good. So, pretty cool. All right, so now let's give you what you came to see. Flameborn Rodan. Look at that. That's really nice. See, when you see it like this, when you see it with the UV light on it, it really brings out like a more reddish tone to it. And it's very, very nice. It looks much better in person probably than it does on this video right now. Yeah, but you can see that. You see the paint on the bottom? That's basically supposed to represent his wings being on fire. And you see how it pops out like that. Very, very cool. Let's turn him around. Yeah. So, that's just going to give you the back of the wings. His back and his head all have UV paint on it. On a little bit on the tip of the tail and on the tip of the wings. So that's what you're getting. Super, super cool. See that on his face, on the bottom of the wings. Looks very, very nice. Very cool. Flameborn Rodan, baby. And I'm just going to give you a front view of him with the black light. before I close this out. Very, very cool. You know, one thing I forgot to mention is, you know, the end of the 56 Rodan, they basically fall, there's two Rodans in that. And they basically both, one of them falls into the volcano and the other kind of follows that one down. So, and, you know, it's fitting in Godzilla King of the Monsters that Rodan wakes up out of a volcano, you know. So that's obviously another nod to the original picture. So yeah. Okay, so there we go. You know, this figure is a win-win. You're getting a great figure with a decent paint job, with fantastic articulation, screen accurate. Yeah, it's the articulation on this alone and the posability of it and how buttery smooth it is good. You're getting a fairly decent stand. Not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. You know, and you could get this guy for a respectable price. 50-something bucks, 60 bucks, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Between 50 and 80 bucks, 85 bucks, something along those lines. You know what I mean? Depending upon where you get it but you know, it's very cool. It's worth it. It's bang for your buck. You know what I mean? It's Hiya Toys really succeeding and knocking it out of the park. And, you know, I'm proud to own it, proud to add it to the collection, my very first Rodan figure. And I had fun with it. I had fun posing it. I had fun talking about Rodan and a little bit of the history of Rodan. And yeah, you know, comment down below on what you think about Rodan's Awakening being peak Monsterverse, peak Kaiju cinema, you know, and whether or not you agree with that. But yeah, I do highly recommend this. So go out and get you some Rodan, folks. And I got a few more reviews I'm going to be dropping soon, so be patient, and I'll be back at you with another. Peace out, folks.